want to do today, is I'm going to read you a summary of the 3 lessons that we've had from Sheikh Hassan. Because these 3 lessons constitute our foundation. These are introductory, or you could say summary lessons of our basis. Now, a number of people have said that they want to go into some practical elements related to tarbiyya. And we have talked about a few of these things just amongst ourselves about things that have come up in the neighborhood. However, what I want to do here is take these 3 lectures that Sheikh Hassan has given us as a core and as a basis that we always keep in mind as we're going along. So it's a foundation that we keep returning to and a basis that we keep returning to as we're going along. So the first dars that Sheikh Hassan gave, okay, I'm just going to read it and maybe sum a little bit up as I'm going along. Summary of Lecture 1. Children are a tremendous responsibility for their parents. Parents will be taken into account regarding them before Allah Most High. الأولاد مسؤولية أمام الله عز وجل وسيحاسب الوالدين عن تربيتهم لأولادهم. And here we have the quote of the hadith: each of you is a guardian and will be asked about that which he was guardian over. Every child is born on the fitrah, and it is his parents who make him a Jew, a Christian, or a Zoroastrian. If the parent is successful with the tarbiyya of his child, he will benefit from this in the next world. So a person who is muwafiq, who has tawfiq and success in the raising of their child, that will be in their hisab. يعني كل من كان موفقا في تربية ولده فهذا في حسابه يوم القيامة. هذا من باب من جهز غازيا فقد غزا. This is from the matters mentioned by the Prophet ﷺ, that whoever equips a fighter in the way of Allah has fought. So when you prepare someone else, or a reason for someone else to do good works, you get the equal reward of that person without it decreasing in their reward in any way. So the problematic aspect of that is that the opposite is also true, that if you do not give your children a good tarbiyya, you have the burden of, they are responsible once they reach puberty to make their own choices, but you have a hand in their bad choices and their bad tarbiyya. The basis of when a child, and then we have the hadith, when a human being dies, his works end except for 3 things. One of these is a righteous child who makes dua for him. The basis of this responsibility is that the child is the property of Allah Most High. Your child does not belong to you. It belongs to Allah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah Most High. And is a trust with the parent. So the child is an amana with his parents. So the child has rights over the child, and the child has rights over his parents. The parent is responsible to care for the child when he is small and to raise him and instruct him properly as he gets older. He has rights over his child and the child has rights over him, but the child does not belong to him to do with him as he pleases. Rather, he is obliged to raise him as instructed by Allah Most High. This is Allah's property, and you are obliged to bring about that tarbiyya in the way instructed by Allah. الملك لله عز وجل ويجب عليك أن تربي هذا الولد كما علمك وفهمك الله عز وجل. Rather, he is obliged to raise him as instructed by Allah Most High, his owner and creator. And if this is not done according to the way pleasing to Allah Most High, the parent will face that when he meets him. فَإِذَا لَمْ يُصْلِحْ فِي التَّرْبِيَةِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ فَعَلَيْهِ هَذَا الْحِسَابِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. If the parent is raising the child in a way that does not lead to him becoming a righteous Muslim, it is the obligation of other Muslims to command him to the right and forbid him to the wrong. The sum of what correct tarbiyya should produce is a righteous person in this world and the next. A parent who squanders the trust of his child will not only be taken into account on the day of judgment for this, but also the bad actions of his child will be held against him and continue to be recorded in his count even after death. Thus, a person who is being gifted a child is required to ask, how does Allah Most High want me to raise him? The parent is responsible for raising his child as a true servant of Allah and to save him from the hellfire, just as he is responsible to feed him in this world and to save him from perishing from hunger. O you who believe, save yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is men and rocks. Obligations of Islamic tarbiyya. The wajibat al-tarbiyya al-Islamiyya. Al-awwal. Give the child correct faith and al-aqidah sahiha. The child should be taught and well grounded in the basics of correct aqidah. 2. Training in acts of worship. The child should be accustomed to and adherent in performing acts of worship. يعني يتربى الولد يتعود على العبادة. The child should be given the opportunity for intellectual development and a means to worldly success. He should be taught good character and social skills. For example, knowing how to have good neighborly relations, maintain friendships, keep family ties. يعلم الخلق الحسنة social skills. تربية اجتماعية. Parents should care for the health of their child and يجب على الوالدين أن يدير بالهم على صحة الولد. The child should be taught about the changes that occur when he becomes morally responsible. For example, lowering his gaze, knowing the fiqh rulings relating to fluids that exit from sexual organs, and how to make a correct ghusl, etc. The means of Islamic tarbiyya. وسائل التربية الإسلامية. Okay, before marriage, that one select a righteous spouse. أن يبحث الإنسان عن زوجة أو زوج صالح. Possess knowledge of Islamic tarbiyya and يكون هناك خلفية في التربية الإسلامية. That one work on oneself before marriage such that one can become a good example to one's children. Otherwise, the corruption and bad character of the parent will be passed on to the child. Children are like videos, always recording their parents' actions and repeating them, good or bad. So it's of the most important factors in the whole matter of tarbiyah. It should be a good example to your children. Children are very fast to pick up nifaq. They hate hypocrisy. So you have to practice what you preach. Make plenty of dua even before one marries, that Allah Most High will give one righteous progeny. الدعاء حتى قبل الزواج للذرية الصالحة. Care for other Muslim children prior to your own, and perhaps Allah will make it a reason for your own children to be guided. And يأتني الإنسان بأولاد المسلمين حتى قبل الزواج، وإن شاء الله يكون هذا سببا لأن يكون هناك بركة وتوفيق في تربية أولاده هو. So that and the matters of after marriage, we're going to gradually cover them in our lecture. So the summary, if we wanted to just condense that whole lecture into a few words, it is, your child doesn't belong to you. Your child belongs to Allah. And you are obliged to the best of your ability to deliver the trust that you have been entrusted with of raising a righteous Muslim. That is your obligation with these children. And it's not a matter of your choice. It's a matter of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained to us to raise our children. Now one might say, well, there are a lot of styles of tarbiyah. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, because in reality, are there so many styles of tarbiyya? I'm going to question that. There are some different ways of implementing things, but there is one objective. فالاختلاف في أسلوب التربية فأنا أقول الله أعلم يعني ليس ذاك الاختلاف لأن المقصد واحد فالطرق لمقصد واحد ليس كثيرة يعني يوجد اختلاف في الطرق ولكن ليس ذاك الاختلاف الكثيرة بين هذه الأسلوب. I believe there are some differences in the styles of tarbiyah to reach the same objective, but if the objective is one, there are only a limited number of styles. It's not as wide a matter as people tend to refer to, and I'm going to try and prove that point in this dars today. بإذن الله عز وجل. If Allah gives me tawfiq, if I'm mistaken, it's okay. We're just trying to hit the mark, inshallah.
الصلاة على النبي والسلام على الرسول الشفيع